Well, hello and welcome to Abundant Life TV. This is your coach, Aya Fubara Eneli, and I hope you are having just a spectacular day. And if you aren't, well, let's change that. Do you know, and you've probably heard this before, that everything that you're feeling, everything that you're experiencing is influenced by your thoughts, by your thought life? Yeah. Ever heard yourself say something like, "Oh, I feel like a burger right now." Well, where does that come from? First, there's a thought, right? Maybe you saw a picture of a burger, maybe someone mentioned a burger, maybe, something of that nature. That's what marketing is for, right? And then you get that thought in your head, and then once that thought is in your head, then it generates certain feelings. And then those feelings generate certain actions. And then, of course, your actions bring about your behavior. Your actions are your behavior, which bring about your results. So I tell people at any point in time, when you look at the results you have in your life and you don't like them, you want to look at what it is you can control. There are always going to be things that we have absolutely no control over, right? I have no control over the weather. I have no control over how the other people who are driving down the street with me today are going to act. What I do have control over, however, are my thoughts. And my thoughts are going to determine the quality of my life, regardless of what other people are doing. That's why you can have someone in a situation that's really stressful and they're calm. And you can have someone else in the same situation, dealing with the same circumstances, and they're completely losing it. It's not that the circumstances are different, it's how they think about the circumstances that bring about a certain set of feelings which propel them to act in a certain way, which then bring about certain results. So, one of the things I practice in my life, this is something that my sister and I came up with, my sister Sumiari Fubara Dem. She's a trauma specialist and just amazing with the work that she does. But years ago, we collaborated and we came up with, we found out that in our lives, there were lots of parallels and things that we did that, we didn't even talk to each other about, but they were just things that we did to ensure that we were living our lives optimally. We were creating the kind of lives that we wanted. And as we compared notes, we came up with what we call the 7 to Thrive. Now, I'm not going to cover all 7 today, but of course, since you're subscribed to my channel, you'll eventually hear about all of them. In fact, there's going to be a book about it about the 7 to Thrive coming out soon, so stay tuned. But today, what I want to talk about is one of the things that we do in our 7 to Thrive. And one of those things is to intentionally choose to feed our minds, choose to feed our thoughts, right? So every morning, as part of what we do, it's choosing what is the inspirational thing I want to take in? What is it that I want to focus in? What are the kind of thoughts that I want to have running around in my head? This is how I explain it to my children. They have TV or, you have your social media. And what do? With the TV, you're changing the channel, Netflix, whatever it is. You're choosing what it is you want to watch. And if you click on something and it's not what you want, guess what? You just change it, right? And then you're able to go to what it is that you want, and that's what you end up spending time on and focusing on. Same thing with scrolling, through your social media. You see a lot of stuff, but you don't stop on everything. You just keep scrolling. And then all of a sudden something catches your eye, you stop and you read that in more detail. Maybe you make a comment, so on and so forth. We get to do that with our thought life if we choose to be very intentional about what do I want to focus on? Do I always want to focus on all the negative that's going on around me? Do I want to see the negativity, to see the poverty, to see the pain, right? But to look at it from the perspective of how can I be part of the solution? Or do I just want to rail against the system, so to speak, right? And we get to choose what thoughts we want to take root in our minds, in our heads, right? And then whatever we focus on, we're going to reap the benefits from, whether benefits for good or for bad, right? So I want to encourage you, as one more success strategy, to be very intentional about your thought life. To be very intentional about what you're letting into your mind, into your spirit. In fact, the Bible says, guard your heart, for out of it flow the issues of life. And it's really all of those things that we take in and we think on and we meditate on. Worry is a form of meditation. It's really you focusing your thought life on everything that's not working or why things won't work. And that ends up having physical implications for you, doesn't it? Right? By the same token, we can choose to focus on the positive. We can be very intentional about our thought life. So just one more success strategy for you. How are you intentionally choosing to feed your mind? How are you intentionally choosing your thoughts? You have the power, so use it. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. Please share with everyone that you know. Leave your comments, and we look forward to seeing you back here next time. We enjoy filming on location. If you would like us to visit your establishment for our next segments, contact me today at info@ayaanelli.com. That's info@ayaeneli.com. And we just might see you.